Hi everyone, thanks for this episode of nickegantimes. On this episode, we have a sensational guest. We have the incredible and legendary contemporary jazz sax great Andre Ward. Andre has just released his incredible new album, Africarising, which is out now. Welcome, Andre, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate it.
You're sincerely welcome. How's it all been going over there?
So far, so good. We're dealing with a lot of the trials and tribulations with weather and all of that. But what about yourself? How's everything over there?
Life's great. We're alive, right? So that's the most important part. But yeah, everything's great. I can't complain. Yeah, just happy in life.
We take it a day at a time.
Exactly. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
All right. All right. Let's jump straight into it. Tell me about your journey. Take us back to, I guess, yeah, how it all began for you, your family, yeah, and everything relating to that.
Yeah, and so Nick, I was very fortunate. I grew up. I'm originally from Chicago, and I grew up in Chicago during a time that there was a thriving music education program in the public school systems, and I was able to take advantage of that and try out different instruments with our after school program. And so during this program, I started with the snare drums. I started playing the snare drums. After that, I went to the trumpet, which was very interesting, and I really enjoyed that time. But then I had the opportunity to pick up the alto sax. And it was then and there where I felt a connection. And I just really felt like this instrument and I had that connection where I really wanted to continue to grow. And so that really was the platform for me to continue to grow on was my experiences, with the arts program in the school system.
That's incredible. And what does the jazz, I guess, genre represent to you? What does that mean to you?
With me, it means history to me. It means evolving with time. Music is a universal language, and music, my opinion, never dies, but it evolves. And to this day, I still listen with eagerness and excitement to the greats like uh, Cannonball Adderley, Charlie Parker, Sonny Stitt, John Coltrane. These are musicians, and I just named saxophones, but there's a host of musicians during that era that was really very instrumental um, in changing the form of music. And now jazz, which during that time, jazz just kind of changed the whole landscape. It has evolved into like even now with rap music, it has taken on some of the samples that a lot of rappers use are from, could be from jazz samples, could be from classical samples. And so again, I just feel very strongly that the music never dies, it evolves. But jazz music is just history. It's just history. It continues to innovate, it continues to motivate.
Sensational. Um, Tell me about you've done a few albums. Tell me about the new and I was actually you know, I guess from my perspective, you were number four on the Billboard charts with, I believe, one of your first albums. It was your first one. That's truly incredible. You must have been so proud. Tell me about that experience, and seeing yourself on the Billboard in the jazz genre at number four. That's remarkable.
Yes, it's remarkable. It was very humbling. I was very thankful. But you don't get to success on your own. So there was a lot of other artists, musicians, collaborators, composers that really paid contributed to that success. And we also, had success on the Caution project, and that debuted at number one on the Billboard Contemporary Jazz charts. And that was really mind blowing
Wow.
because to be number one on the contemporary Billboard jazz charts was amazing because there were so many other musicians on that chart that I truly respected and that I listened to and I continue to learn from. So it was a humbling experience.
And where would you, or how would you describe to where you are now to back then? How has your craft evolved?
Well, I think learning never stops. I think it continues. There's always something new to learn. I continue to work on developing my sound, but that is by fusing everything that I believe in. My foundation is really deeply embedded in the gospel roots, but the traditional jazz that I've spent time with, the R&B. I love classical. I love listening to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony or Bach, and so all of these different musical elements has given me, I think, a larger music vocabulary at which I can continue to at least speak from. And so I continue to try to fuse all of those different elements to create my sound. So I'm continuing to grow as a musician, but I also am excited to continue to learn from daily experiences, life experiences, but also other musicians. We all have something to learn from each other.
That's terrific. Yeah, all right. So tell me about the incredible new album, Africa Rising. Talk to me about, I guess, the process and what that represents to you as well.
So Africa Rising, it means a lot. All of the musical projects was really dear to my heart. But Africa Rising took on a special kind of place because we started working on this during COVID. And we were kind of inside during the time. And Nick, it was a time where, we didn't have a blueprint. We didn't know what was going on. This was the first for a lot of us dealing with the pandemic. And as music is a universal language, this is the creativity that came out of that time as we were creating Africa Rising. It was during a time of hope, belief, inspiration, motivation, because this is what we were feeling at that time. We're going to stick together, get through this. And so coming out of this, with the collaboration of Africa Rising, we also wanted to create something that can take our listeners on a journey from the first track to the last track. And that journey could be emotionally, spiritually. It could make you happy. It could make you cry. And so even with the opening track of Classy Lady, we wanted something upbeat. And then it went right into the great Sade tune of Kiss of Life. And so, the sequence was even strategically thought about and discussed because we wanted to take listeners on a journey.
That's inspiring and wonderful. Like, yeah, that's truly incredible.
Thank
Um,
you.
Talk to me about. Have you had any mentors in your career?
Uh, yes. I mean, I don't think we can get, I think success is built off of the mentors and those who love you and, whether it's tough love or not, those in your life to really kind of keep you on the path. So I definitely had some mentors. I mean, I would say that my parents were very strong mentors because they laid the rule down that high expectations for everyone, whether you were going to be a musician or a plumber or electrician, it didn't matter. They wanted high expectations for everyone. And then, of course, in the educational realm, those in my life, especially my music teacher, who really inspired us to continue to practice, but was very firm at if you're going to be in this program, the high expectations, you're going to practice. And so I continue to take that legacy and try to make sure that I can lead by example with some of the younger musicians of being a role model and being a leader as well.
Wonderful. What inspires you daily?
So there's a couple of things. One, my family, my family, my wife and daughter truly do give me that drive and determination to get up every day. But second, there is a gift that we all have. We all have a gift. But I also realize that that gift can be taken or can be gone any day now because tomorrow is not promised. And so that's a motivation and inspiration for me to get up every day. And if I can bless someone with the gift that I've been given of music, that's my calling. And so that drives me every day. So my family and the gift that I've been given that I know can be taken at any time really inspires me to continue and motivates me daily.
Okay, well, that's very inspirational. I'm inspired. You got me. You got me going. All right.
Well,
What's the
if you have a family, that's just inspiration within itself because it's unconditional love.
exactly? And that's what life's built on, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What's the best advice you have ever received?
To believe in me and to never give up. And I know that might sound like a cliche, but that was one of the best advice because life is going to have trials and tribulations. And it's going to be situations that might force one to not believe and to give up. And so best advice is to, never to believe in yourself and never give up, you know, because we all have a talent within us. It's just at what point or where do that talent just kind of come out and explode. But we all have a gift that we've been given.
Definitely couldn't agree more with you. And to I guess a younger yourself or a young person that's aspiring to be like yourself, um, what advice would you give them?
Well, along with, believing in yourself, you know, if you are, again, a musician, whatever you decide to do, just focus on being the best at it that you can. Because at the end of the day, you want to feel good and passionate about what you're doing. And, what's your purpose? And if your purpose is if your purpose is service, then be the best service you can give. If your purpose is being creative, innovative, just do the best you can because at the end of the day, you at least can tell yourself, I've tried my best. I've done my best. And whenever you do your best and try your best, the rewards will pay off.
Yeah,
Absolutely, they will.
again couldn't agree more with you. It's definitely the reward, and it's there's so many blessings too that come from it as well when you do your best. You feel great. You know you've given it your all. You don't feel guilty. So I definitely
Yeah,
could not agree. I couldn't agree more with you. Um,
yeah.
Looking back in obviously your esteemed career, and you're only relatively young too, so you've got definitely a long way to go. But what have been, I guess, some of the fondest memories that stand out for you in your career today?
Um, well, I would say as I was, a young musician, just really learning the instrument, it was really fun. You can see the growth happening. You're getting better and better. Um, as I've gotten older, it becomes more of an emotional attachment because it's part of me, and music is a universal language. And what I want to say musically is a conversation that I want to have with the listeners. And so it's very important to me that I continue to have that connection emotionally with my music, that I can make sure that everyone is connected as well.
And how would that process be? Like, say for example, you need to get to an emotional level, or you need to get, that kind of context for it. How would that process look like for creating one of your songs?
Yeah. And so, I also truly lean on music being inspirational from your experiences, life experiences. I've always said that you can't Nick, you can't write a love song and if you've never been in love,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't write a song that's gonna touch emotions if and who hasn't really been hurt by love or different elements of love. And so, to really get in that mindset, I really just try to lean on life experiences as to how am I feeling right now? What are my emotions? But, also that drive and determination, is, how can I dig deep inside of me and pull out what it is that I want to say? What is it I want to say musically? What is it I want to say that's going to touch the listener? And for me, it's really just getting myself as to what is it in my heart. Because whether I'm feeling sad or happy at that time, that's what's going to come out in the music at that particular time. So it's really just kind of doing a deep dive into how I'm feeling that motivates me to bring that music out at the time.
That's great. And do you like doing, I guess, a performance in front of people, like live, I guess, shows? Like, is that something that really resonates with you?
Yeah, Nick, I actually enjoy live performances. That's the best part. One of the best parts of the industry to me. Because, Nick, in the studio, you can create special, you can create a painting as to how you vision it and how you're feeling. And you have a lot of the bells and whistles to help you accomplish that on stage, live performance, you're creating a special moment that can only be created once. You will never, ever recreate that moment because of the different elements of where you are, you're live, you're feeding off the energy of the audience. And so I really enjoy performing live because you're really painting a picture. You're creating a moment that you will only doesn't matter if you have the same group of people in front of you, you're only creating that moment once.
Wow,
And that's really, it's really exciting.
that's a great perspective, opinion, context you shared. Like I really appreciate that. That's really true. That's really true that what you just said. Like, yeah, I definitely agree. You only have those moments that happen. That's it. Like, it's never going to happen again. You can't rehearse it again. You can't relive it again. It's there and then. It's done and dusted.
That's right. We call them, well, I call them special moments. Those special moments that, oh my god, we'll never create that again. And yeah, you're right. It's just one of those times that you have to enjoy it at the moment because you will never be able to create it again.
What Looking back, I guess, can you share any of those, like, that really in your memory, that like you've had those moments that you can share that really come to the top of mind?
Yeah, one is I was doing a show and I was doing kind of this call and response, and I would play something and have the audience to sing it back. And I remember that it was just one of those special moments. It sounded as though every voice in the concert was singing back, but to but when I heard it coming
Yeah.
back, and it was just the full sound of everyone, it was just emotional. It was just emotional for me, um, to really get that love and to see that collaboration that I was able to get on stage with the audience. And it's just a feeling that again you can't recreate it. And so that was a special moment for me. And I've done that before, and you get different reactions, but there was that one time where it just felt like whole the whole theater was just singing along, and it was beautiful.
Oh, that's mind blowing. That's mind blowing. That's incredible. Um, Off the back of the new album, are you doing any tours?
And so right now, yes, and so we are planning on doing some touring and going into the late spring, into the summer, and then fall. and right now we're just kind of doing an awareness campaign, getting out, doing the interviews, making sure everyone is aware of the new project, and it's available on all streaming platforms. And so we are definitely looking for everyone to pick it up. But we are looking to be touring, and I hope to get to your fair city at some point.
I was just about to say that you got to come down here. I'll be one of your biggest fans. I'll be sitting in the front, right?
Well, listen, we will absolutely make sure that you are aware of that. This is my first interview from there, so I'm very excited and appreciate you giving me this opportunity. But absolutely, you will be the first one, and at the concert, then we can do another interview afterwards.
100%. We can do it before as well. We can do 100 interviews. Oh, that's too good. Right. What are your, aside from music, obviously that's your love, I guess your main passion, that motivates you. What other stuff on the side that you do to, I guess, unwind or just relax? Yeah, what are your hobbies and, yeah, I guess passions to that?
Well, unwind and relax. I'm going to, I mean, I really like, just sitting back, really watching a little television. I don't watch a lot, but I love documentaries. Looking at definitely some of the jazz greats. I love sitting back watching documentaries. I'm currently reading this book called Bird Lives about Charlie Parker. But I have another passion too about music education to make sure that the young students have the opportunities that I myself and so many other musicians have had. And so, it is dear to my heart to make sure that I can continue to contribute to the music education in the school system.
Incredible. All right. If you were 18 again and you could change anything, it could be personally or professionally in your life, what would you change?
In my life or in general?
Your life. Well, generally in your life, should I elaborate? So,
Generally, I would like to see more love around with everyone. I think, unfortunately, the pandemic has opened the door for us to realize that even more so that tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. And I just think if we just take the time to tell our loved ones that we love them while they're still alive, or be helpful, do a good deed, uh, I would like to just see more love spread because life is short and you never know. You just never know. So, you got to live your best life, live
all right.
happy while you can. That's what I would really hope and would love, in general. For me personally, I just really want to continue to live a happy, healthy life, but I want my music to be able to touch the listeners. If the music that we create, if it doesn't touch the listeners, then I don't think we've done our job.
And I'm assuming that's your legacy you want to leave as well?
Absolutely. That my music has touched someone emotionally, spiritually, and that they've had a connection to it.
Incredible. Incredible. Andre, thanks for coming on the podcast. I do appreciate it. I've really thoroughly enjoyed interviewing, and yeah, I wish you nothing but the success and the best in the future.
Well, listen, it's been a pleasure for me. I want to say this on camera. One, I'm a phone call away if you need anything because I really appreciate my first interview in Australia.
Yep.
Right.
Sydney,
And
Australia.
so,
Yes.
yeah, so I want to thank you for that opportunity. I want to thank all the listeners. My Instagram and Facebook, Andre at andreward music. You can definitely reach me there. But I really appreciate you opening that door for me to Sydney, Australia.
Definitely come anytime. I'm looking forward to it.
Me as well.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.